road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Well, good afternoon, basketball fans. It is Semifinal Sunday here from Canyon, Texas, the First United Bank Center, the site of today's NCAA South Central Region Championship semifinal matchup between Black Hills State and Fort Lewis College. I am Lucas Kinsey, joined by my broadcast partner, Kent Johnson. Kent, we are ready for day two of some outstanding March Madness as we have Black Hills State meeting Fort Lewis College for a fourth time this season. These teams know each other. Also, as we look at our bracket from yesterday, in our second semifinal, we're going to have two Lone Star Conference teams meeting for a fourth time, West Texas A&M and Angelo State. What stood out from you from yesterday's games?
Well, Black Hills State handled Colorado Mines, and Mines has great length, but Black Hills State had great team play. They also have two-time RMAC Player of the Year, Joel Scott. There you see him. Mr. Scott had 13 points, 9 rebounds. But as impressive as he was, I was also impressed with P.J. Hayes. P.J. contributed 12 points, 8 rebounds. So it's not all on Joel Scott. Fort Lewis College, well, they've got one of the outstanding guards in the country, Aquel Cott, local product from Amarillo Paladuro High School. How about 31 points? He had 24 in the first half, and I really think had he played the bulk of the second half, he'd have scored 50.
Yeah.
But he rested his legs, was on the bench half of the second half. He ended up with 31 points, 7 rebounds, but he wasn't alone in that. Q Mays, Jaqueline Mays, 14 points, and Junior Garbra chipped in 15. So they've got 3 guards that can really work you over.
There's a look at head coach Bob Petrak, who in winning yesterday, now 3 NCAA tournament wins for Coach Petrak, ties Hall of Famer head coach Bob Hoffman for most postseason wins at Fort Lewis College. And I saw Coach Petrak before the broadcast. He was actually chatting with Aquel Cott's high school coach, Jeff Evans. And I said, hey, Coach Evans, you're here to watch Aquel? And he said, yeah. And Coach Petrak said, that's what I'm here to do, too. I'm just going to sit back and watch Aquel Cott do his thing. And on the other side, Kent Johnson is a very good head coach, Ryan Thompson, 5th year at Black Hills State. He's trying to get back to the Sweet 16 2 years in a row.
Well, and yes, and this is the first time that Black Hills State has been in the NCAAs 2 years in a row. But they ended West Texas A&M season last year down in Lubbock in the semifinal round. He's looking to make the Sweet 16, as you say, for a second year in a row. 101 wins against just 40 losses.
Last year they reached the Final Four. There's a look at Black Hills State. The Yellow Jackets you mentioned yesterday, P.J. Hayes, one of the players that contributed, got hot in the second half, making the 3-pointers. For Black Hills State, they had a lot of balance yesterday, and a couple of things that stood out to me, Kent. They only had 5 turnovers. They really took care of the ball, and it was the second half. They trailed by 2 points at halftime to Colorado School of Mines. They outscored the Ore Diggers 39-17, put a lot of pressure on them in the second half.
Yeah, that 39 points, yeah, that's good. That 17 points allowed to Colorado Mines was an incredible number. Mines finishing just 48 total points. They shot just 36% from the field, 26% in the second half. Black Hills State's defense really bellied up on them.
On the other side for Fort Lewis College, it was an incredible, maybe the most incredible shooting performance that we've seen in NCAA tournament play. 63% from the field. They were impressive on the defensive side as well. You mentioned Aquel Cott, but they also got good performances from several other players, as 4 other players scored 8 points. The Skyhawks, they also took care of the ball themselves. Only 4 turnovers, and they made 12 threes. But we go back to this series, Kent. 3 times they've played. All 3 games have been decided by 10 or fewer points. The last meeting was in the RMAC tournament, and it was a 5-point game where Fort Lewis College was able to hold on and win in that one close. What do you tell your team, both sides here, is you're playing an opponent that they know so well?
Well, you say, It's hard to beat an opponent 3 times. That's been done. Okay, it's hard to beat them a 4th time. What I'm going to say is play defense like you played yesterday. Take care of the basketball. Let's see what happens.
So Fort Lewis College and Black Hills State, the Skyhawks and the Yellow Jackets, both out of the RMAC. The Skyhawks, the number 2 seed here in the NCAA South Central region. The Yellow Jackets, the number 6 seed in the South Central region. Again, I'm Lucas Kinsey, joined by Kent Johnson, our Thunder Vision production team. Glad that you are joining us today. Director for you on the broadcast is going to be Jacob Griffin. And a lot of fun that we had yesterday, providing the 4 games. We'll have 2 for you today. This one followed up by West Texas A&M against Angelo State. Let's look at the starting lineups first for the visitors. They are wearing the white uniforms today, and I'll talk more about that in just a second. But on the visiting side of the scoreboard will be Black Hills State, led by their head coach, Ryan Thompson, in his 5th season. 101 wins. You look at what he's done over the last 2 years, 52 wins for head coach Ryan Thompson. The starting lineup includes Joel Scott, 2-time RMAC Player of the Year, a 2022 All-American, and also this year named the South Central Region Player of the Year. He is the all-time leading scorer in Black Hills State history, 2,369 points scored for Joel Scott. Sindhu Cisse, 6'3" guard from Harlem, New York, 8 points a game, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists for Cisse. Number 20, Kalen Hearn, a 6'4" sophomore guard out of Norman, Oklahoma. Number 23, P.J. Hayes. Again, good performance yesterday from P.J., scoring 12 points and grabbing 8 rebounds in the win. And Matthew Ragsdale, 6'4" senior from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Interesting note here, Kent, Ragsdale and Joel Scott, they've only been teammates for 1 year in college because Ragsdale transfers over, but they were teammates in high school for 4 years, and they won a state championship back in high school, 28-0 4A state champs in Colorado.
They played together as teammates in high school. Ragsdale goes to Western Colorado, plays his 4 years, has 1 year of eligibility left. Gee, Joel Scott says, come to Black Hills. We were in the national title chase last year. Be a part of this, and he is a contributor.
All right, let's meet the starting lineups now for Fort Lewis College. Ranked number 7 in the country, Fort Lewis College bumping their season record up now to 29 wins and only 3 losses. They'll start Scotty Stafford, 6' senior guard from Stone Mountain, Georgia. He scored 17 points in a win over Black Hills State earlier this year. Obi Agbim, also one of the players to watch out for. Q Mays, number 10, 6'1" senior guard, first-team All-RMAC selection. Gets the start for the Skyhawks, number 22. We talked about him a lot yesterday, and the Skyhawk faithful are hoping that he has a performance like he did in the opening round game. Aquel Cott, 6'2" junior from Amarillo, Texas, first-team All-RMAC, and also a first-team All-South Central Region selection. The 2 big men inside, Brendan LaRose, 6'9" senior from Falcon, Colorado, and Brendan Boatwright, 6'9" senior from Carlsbad, New Mexico.
All right, fans, the tradition here at First United Bank Center.
Expecting a really good crowd for both of these games today. And Kent, I was talking about Black Hills State and saying that they are wearing the white uniforms. That's because Fort Lewis College, the home team, their home jerseys are gold.
And Black Hills asked the NCAA site rep if there was any issues with wearing the white. It's not a competitive advantage. Have at it.
Okay, if you're a stats geek like I am, here's a stat to watch out for. This year, Black Hills State is 10-1 when they wear white uniforms.
It's a head game. Our officiating crew, Ryan Snyder, the referee, Ryan Huber, Jeremy Yancey are the umpires. It's going to be a lot of fun.
A trip to the Sweet 16 on the line between these 2 RMAC opponents, and we're underway. The Skyhawks get the tip and the first possession as Q Mays dribbles up here for Fort Lewis College. Stafford strong to the bucket and lays it softly off the window. 2 points for Scotty Stafford. And again, so much attention goes to Aquel Cott, but they have 3 or 4 guards that can take you off the dribble on the other side. Black Hills State loses the ball, still loose. saved and fumbled around, eventually controlled by the big man, Brendan Boatwright. A great start here for Fort Lewis College. Kent, yesterday we saw they played with a lot of intensity, a lot of emotion from the beginning of their game against Lubbock Christian and never looked back.
They've got 3 great guards. The 2 bigs inside really do a great job protecting the paint. Here's a turnover.
Yeah, good steal by Joel Scott, who yesterday came 1 rebound shy of his 14th double-double on the season. He kind of started slow offensively, but when he got going in the second half, really helped his team. There's Ragsdale driving. He'll kick out. 3-pointer from Cisse. Does not draw iron. And early on, 2 good defensive trips for Fort Lewis College. They still lead 2-0, 18:38 to play, first half. That's going to be a foul against Black Hill State. Kalen Hearn from behind. Is that who they called it on?
I think they got Ragsdale.
They got Ragsdale.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ragsdale reaches in.
He came up from behind and got body.
And sends Scotty Stafford to the free throw line. First trip to the line today for either side. And the free throw is good. Just an all-around player, Stafford. 2 assists per game, 1.5 steals per contest. Honorable mention, all RMAC selection this year. And he scored the first 4 points of the game for Fort Lewis College. Man-to-man defense. As the Yellow Jackets try to free open a shooter, and it works. 2 points for P.J. Hayes. And from both sides, we talked about the head coaches during pregame, Ryan Thompson and Bob Petrak. You're going to see some intense coaching. Short on the miss there by Scotty Stafford. And into the front court, here come the Yellow Jackets. Cisse kicks outside. Joel Scott, big man, knocks down the triple. And Black Hill State has the lead for the first time today. Here's Aquel Cott. See if they try to get him going. And we'll also can't be interested to see how they guard him. Well, that worked right there.
Yeah.
That was Sindhu Cisse.
Good heads-up play defensively by Cisse. Kept the ball alive and then threw it off of Cott.
2 things we noticed yesterday that Lubbock Christian was not able to do. If you're guarding Cott, you better be very physical with him as much as you can without fouling. And then oftentimes, you got to double him. Here's Hayes. He's feeling hot and hits down the 3-pointer from the top of the key.
Told you I was impressed with him yesterday. He's starting off the same way today. When someone other than your big star is hitting, it takes some of the load off and puts pressure on the defense.
2 threes knocked in. Actually a 3 and a 2 for Hayes, and it's an 8-0 run for Black Hill State. Fadeaway won't go, but the ball back into the hands of Aquel Cott. Cott tries to score, and Joel Scott denies him at the rim. You get into these matchups here as we see the replay. Cott takes it strong, and Scott sends it out of bounds.
3.5 minutes into the game, and Cott just took his second field goal attempt.
And they're going to whistle a foul against Kalen Hearn. Coach Thompson shaking his head. He thought that Hearn had played pretty good defense, put his arm straight up in the air, but Cott draws the foul, goes to the free throw line.
This will be his 258th free throw attempt on the season. Knocks it down. He's hitting at an 86% rate.
So if he makes 4 free throws today, he will break the all-time single season record for free throws made. Almost there.
If I were a betting man.
It is 8-6, but you're not, Kent.
I am not.
Nearly a travel on the other side for Black Hill State. Hayes controls it, and he's going to back down Aquel Cott using that size advantage. Leads to an open look for Matthew Ragsdale. And this is something that Black Hill State did not do yesterday. They are shooting the ball really well. especially from the outside early in this game. Cott drives, dishes, and they're going to whistle a foul against Joel Scott as Brendan Boatwright took that feed. A nice pass from Quell Cott.
Yeah, that was a nice feed. I'd like to see that one, and here we've got it. See Scott coming in from behind, may have got the forearm on the shooting arm of Brendan Boatwright. 80% shooter. You know, once upon a time, it was like if you were big, you weren't expected to shoot free throws well. I think Wilt Chamberlain put that in everybody's mind.
And then Shaq.
And Shaq, yeah, but that's not the case anymore, and Brendan Boatwright is 6'9", 80% are from the line. 50% today.
Black Hills State leads by 4 points, reaching the 16-minute mark here in the first half. Good ball movement in the half court by the Yellow Jackets. Here's Hayes, ball slapped away, out of bounds. It'll stay with Black Hills State. They'll have 8 seconds on the shot clock after we take our first media timeout. Armac versus Armac here in the semifinals. Great start for both teams. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with more hoops from the First United Bank Center. You're watching the NCAA South Central Regional Tournament on NCAA.com.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela burns it. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
Some of the Yellow Jacket fans checking out this game early, and Kent, they like what they see so far. 4-point lead for Black Hills State.
Well, they like what they see, but they also might start questioning every foul that's been called so far has been called against Black Hills State.
8 seconds on the shot clock as the officials explaining something to Joel Scott and also to Sekou.
Scott's laughing about it.
Dembele, who's in the game here. Reserve big man for the Skyhawks. Hayes goes to work, cut off. And it's a drive. The shot was not released in time. It's a shot clock violation as Cisse got into the paint. And his shot hit the rim. Good defense there by Fort Lewis College. Yeah, the big man, Sekou Dembele, averages 5 rebounds a game and shoots at a pretty good clip, 64% from the field. He does a lot of dunking. Here's Cott. Tough shot. That was incredible defense on that possession by Cisse. In transition, Ragsdale fakes out the defense, put up the 3, and it's good.
Well, Black Hills is on a run right now. Fort Lewis, after hitting the first shot of the game, has not had a field goal.
And they get a turnover. Scott ahead to Cisse, to Hayes, back to Scott, and the layup is good. And right now, Black Hills State is feeling it, Kent, on both sides of the floor.
Shooting 83% from the floor, 5 of 6. Defensively, they've held Fort Lewis just 1 of 5.
Well, to this point, they are making Quell Cott take very difficult shots. Cott is going to get into the paint. Nice pass, and a left-handed layup is good for Dembele. And give credit to Cott. You know, he's drawing double teams, sometimes triple teams, and finding his teammates.
He's shown he can distribute the basketball.
And now the Skyhawks looking for a stop defensively. Hayes turned it over. Good defense. Out and running is Junior Garbra, and he goes to the left hand. A fantastic finish for Junior Garbra. Nice mini run here by Fort Lewis College. They've cut the lead back to 5. And Joel Scott goes to work. This is the shot. Good defense by Dembele.
You want to know what kind of game Joel Scott plays. He's inside outside. He's wearing one of those undergarments that has the pads around the ribs. He looks like a quarterback all padded up out there.
I mean, those two big guys down there, it's like when a kid has his 2 trucks and he's just banging the trucks
away.
together.
They are going at it.
Solid defense inside the paint by Fort Lewis College. So the Skyhawks have the ball, trailing by 5. Good drive by Garbro, hangs in the air, but Joel Scott.
Yeah, he affected the ball. I don't know that he got a hand on it, but he certainly affected the shot.
The ball goes out of bounds with 18 seconds on the shot clock, and a throw in here for Q Mays. Playing tight defense on Cott. Give credit to.
Yeah, that was Jayton Hackley.
Dembele wants to go at Scott and does. And if you are head coach Bob Petrak, you got to love the way that Sekou Dembele is playing off the bench early in this game, bringing some energy and some muscle. 3-point lead for Black Hill State. Inside out. Going to be a 2 for Hackley, and it's off the mark. It's a 6-0 run right now for Fort Lewis College. Ball thrown up in the air and nearly turned over, but Dembele saved the ball, and they say that it was last touched by Black Hill State. And Kent, this is probably a good thing right now, that the way that the gym has the fans, that we've got Black Hill State on one side and Fort Lewis College on the other. Some intensity and passion here in March. Love it.
Going at it, just like the teams are on the floor.
Subs in for both sides. Fort Lewis College going to go with Brendan Boatwright, but the ball stripped away. Hoku Fisher on the floor here for the Yellow Jackets, and a reach. A foul is going to be called against Q Mays.
Mays first. That's also Fort Lewis first as a team.
You know, some of these players did not play as much yesterday, but you're going back-to-back days. These players are getting tired, and so
his legs get heavy.
You go to your bench.
Played a lot of games to get here.
So far off the bench, both teams have some players really stepping up. Here's Riker Cicerik. Takes the turnaround jump shot in the paint. Money from Cicerik. And it's 18-13. Black Hills State leading by 5. That snapped the 6-0 run that Fort Lewis College was on. They go right back to Boatwright. Good post moves, and he scores. How about the footwork from the 6'9" post player?
Nice job in the paint.
Really good start offensively, Kent, for both of these teams. Black Hill State is shooting 70% from the field, and Fort Lewis College is shooting 50%. Seven seconds on the shot clock. Cicerik again goes with that back down. Turnaround shot in the paint, and it's good. Agbim gets under the bucket and then dishes outside to Cott, and he's fouled. They're going to call it against number 2, Jayton Hackley, his first personal. And that'll take us to the media timeout. Black Hill State, a 5-point lead. 11 minutes, 15 seconds to play in the first half. We'll take the timeout. Back with more basketball after these messages.
The possibilities with more than 125 degrees to choose from and learn from top-ranked academic programs. Black Hills State University is one of the 5% business schools worldwide that is accredited by the AACSB. BH is home to a leading photography program that is in the top 5% nationwide. Experience culture with a study abroad program or meet one of the many international students representing 29 different countries. Black Hills State is affordable and provides the skills and knowledge for students to find a successful career. Be part of Yellow Jacket Nation today and apply.
Welcome back to Canyon, Texas. There you see Fort Lewis head coach Bob Petrak. His Skyhawks already have committed as many turnovers today, 4, as they had all day yesterday.
Yeah, and I think, Kent, we wondered about that. We saw Black Hills State yesterday, how physical they were defensively. They made life difficult for Colorado School of Mines, and that's what they're doing so far. They are being tough. Case in point right there, the strip, the steal, and here comes Black Hills State. Forcing the 5th turnover already in the half. Joel Scott wide open from the top. His three-pointer won't fall. But a good look there for the big man. He's already knocked down 1 here in the first half. In transition, the Skyhawks. Spinning, hanging, and hitting is Obi Agbim. Yeah, Kent, you talked about both these coaches, Coach Petrak and Coach Thompson. They preach defense. So far, it's the offense.
Yeah, both teams got to today's game by playing tough defense yesterday. There we're going to have an and one.
A very strong and one. Give it to Sindhu Cisse. And really, the Skyhawks defensively got turned around. Somebody lost their man underneath, and Cisse made them pay. Watch this on the replay. Foul went against Quell Cott. Turning the 0-2 into the 0-3 is Sindhu Cisse.
Both teams right now shooting over 55% from the floor. Black Hills, 9 of 13. That's almost 70%.
Ball.
These are the NCAA semifinals.
Steal, Hackley going the other way. Layup won't go, but they're going to catch from behind a foul against Junior Garbrough. Active hands, that's what we're seeing defensively here from Black Hills State. Somebody tries to drive from Fort Lewis College. There's a hand getting in there and tapping the ball free.
Coming at you.
And the free throw is good for Jayton Hackley, a freshman out of Colorado Springs. Played his high school basketball at Douglas County High School.
And an 8-point lead for the Yellow Jackets, their largest of the game.
See what the Skyhawks can answer with offensively. Good ball movement around the perimeter. Stafford loses it for a second. Going to take a step back two. Very difficult shot defended by Cicerik. And the Yellow Jackets push ahead. Open look. Too strong on the three-point try from Hackley, but a long rebound and an extra chance here for the Yellow Jackets. Cisse bumped. And frustrated is Junior Garbrough. He thought that it may have been an illegal screen. Instead, he picks up a foul.
Picks up his second foul.
So he'll have to come to the bench. They substitute big man for the smaller player coming on the floor. It'll be number 32, Brendan LaRose. Back on the floor for Black Hills State is P.J. Hayes. Already seeing this balanced scoring from Black Hills State, much like we saw yesterday. Hayes Puts it on the floor. Open look in the corner. Hackley's three, short. Trailing by 8, Fort Lewis College pushes ahead. Deep shot missed, and look at that strong rebound inside from Joel Scott. Shot clock at 15 seconds. Cisse penetrates. Short 2-point jump shot missed by Joel Scott. So now the two teams cooling off just a little bit after really starting hot. The shot was blocked, loose, and getting it right back. Good hustle by Agbim. And then a whistle and an offensive foul against Fort Lewis College.
That's going to go against Dembele, his first team foul, number 5 against Fort Lewis.
Coach Petrak frustrated right now. His team trailing by 8, 8:20 to play, first half. Again, 4th meeting between these two teams this season. They've all been close. In fact, the last one was a 5-point deficit in favor. All of them have been by Fort Lewis College. P.J. Hayes knocks down another long distance shot. And Black Hill State has its largest lead of the game.
Playing with a lot of confidence. Everything's going their way right now.
Shot was defended well. It was short. And Black Hill State with the rebound. Ragsdale brings it up. Good double team there by the Skyhawks, forcing Cisse to pick it up. Now they'll go to work with the All-American Joel Scott. Short, great defense again inside by Sekou Dembele.
Scott just 2 of 6 from the floor, and they haven't been difficult shots, but he has been defended on just about all of them.
Fort Lewis College needing a bucket there. 0 for their last 4 from the field. Stafford tries to change it, gets his own miss, and it's deflected again at the rim. Joel Scott, 3 is money. And a timeout taken after Black Hill State extends its lead up to 14 points. We're seeing some incredible defense from the Yellow Jackets, and it's leading to shots like this right here.
Everybody sacks into the paint. Joel Scott's floating outside. He found it.
All right, 31-17 lead for Black Hill State. We'll take a quick timeout, come back with more here from Canyon, Texas on NCAA.com.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
Black Hill State on a roll right now. 13-2 run over the last 4 minutes, 30 seconds, an 11-0 run over the last 3.5. Their defense getting turnovers, feeding the offense. Fort Lewis kind of scrambling defensively. Offensively, they're getting the looks, but Black Hill's defense is preventing the shots.
Well, and Kent, early on, and this can change, we know that Aquel Cott is so good. He's only taken 2 shots and has just 2 points. There's a good drive, but an offensive foul is called against Fort Lewis College. I'm watching Obi Agbim hang in the air, and they say he pushed off and committed the offensive foul. So it's another turnover, and Black Hill State They give it right back to Fort Lewis College. The steal, Q Mays pushes. Here's Stafford. He'll go to work on Hayes. Takes a fadeaway, and it's too strong. And that's the difference. Yesterday, Kent, everything offensively in the rhythm, open looks, and it's obviously going down for Fort Lewis College. Today, everything's contested. Here's P.J. Hayes. His three won't fall, and that is a foul over the back and be called against Sindhu Cisse. So today, against a different look defensively, a much more physical defensive attack from Black Hill State, if you're Fort Lewis College, the screens have got to be better. The movement has got to be better to free open. They're good shooters.
Well, yeah, Cott is not getting his hands on the basketball. He's just taken 2 shots. He hasn't touched the ball a whole lot. Black Hill State has Cisse on him like a glove.
Oh, good fake.
Nice job.
And the turnaround off the glass. Sweet shot for Brendan Boatwright. That stops the 11-0 run that was over the last 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Joel Scott open. His three won't go. Fort Lewis College wanted an offensive foul, didn't get it. And here come the Skyhawks. Stafford. Bounce pass to Boatwright. Gathers it in and scores. What a shot from Boatwright as he was being fouled. And a technical foul was just assessed on head coach Bob Petrak. After Boatwright scored the 2, I think
he's wanting the and one.
He was wanting a foul. He did not get it. Instead, what he got was a technical foul.
Here, I'll get your foul.
Well, now the officials are talking at midcourt. Let's see if we can look at that last play where Brendan Boatwright, it's an incredible
Boatwright's
play.
off balance. Why is he off balance? Because of the contact there with Joel Scott. There was some contact.
So now the 2 teams huddle up as the officials discuss what the call is going to be, and it is a technical foul that goes against head coach Bob Petrak, stopping the clock with 5 minutes, 22 seconds left. 31-22 lead for Black Hills State. We knew this was going to be intense today. And the passion, the intensity, we're going to see it in this first semifinal game between the 2 RMAC opponents, Black Hills State and Fort Lewis College. And then we're looking forward to the second game as well tonight, as the number 1 seed West Texas A&M will take on Angelo State, also for a 4th time, those 2 Lone Star Conference schools.
That's interesting. Coming out of the huddle, Brendan Boatwright goes to Jerome Yancey. He's the RMAC official in this mixed crew, and says, give me an explanation of why. And to Yancey's credit, he's explaining to Boatwright, and Brendan seems to be accepting the understanding.
All right, at the free throw line for Black Hills State is Matthew Ragsdale, Colorado Springs native, and a second-team All-RMAC selection. Got them both. Lead bump back up to 12 points now at 33-21. And a big stretch here at the last 5 minutes and change of the first half. If you're Fort Lewis College, you want to get back in this thing, get it under 10 for sure. If you're Black Hills State, keep the foot on the gas pedal.
If you're Fort Lewis, you're trying to figure out a way to get the ball in Aquel Cott's hands. That's not happening.
Ragsdale underneath. Did he step out of bounds?
Yep.
Good defense by the Skyhawks, forcing the turnover for Black Hills State, the 6th turnover of the half. Fort Lewis College already with 8 turnovers. Last time these 2 teams played, Aquel Cott scored 32 points. He has only 2. And right now he's standing in the corner. They're going to Boatwright. Boatwright will turn, take the old school hook shot, and it comes off the back rim.
Scott already has 8 rebounds.
Ball stripped and nearly stolen away, back into the hands of Ragsdale. Another strip, this time It goes into the back court, still fumbled away, and into the hands of Garbrough. Opposite to Cott, and Aquel Cott scores. Good steal and score there for Fort Lewis College. They've cut the lead back to 10, 33-23. You can see they're extending this pressure out on the three-point line. Ball knocked free. Turnaround two. Won't fall for Jayton Hackley. Two good defensive trips in a row for the Skyhawks. Aquel Cott got the defender in the air and drew the foul. And he's so good with those fakes.
That Sindhu Cisse got up in the air, and that led to the foul. That'll take us to a timeout with 3:52 to play in the first. Black Hills State on top, 33-23. You're watching NCAA Men's South Central Region Basketball Championship on NCAA.com.
NCAA expresses our gratitude to our corporate champions and partners. Without their support, these great championship moments and opportunities are not possible for our student athletes. The NCAA's commitment to the highest levels of fairness and well-being, along with the pursuit of excellence in both academics and athletics, helps build a championship culture. With their generosity, our corporate partners make it possible to celebrate champions. Thank you.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
There you see Black Hills State over on the bench. There you see Joel Scott wearing number 1.
Well, I think
2
he was
points and 2 rebounds away from a double-double, and we've got 3:52 to play in the first.
Yeah, he was frustrated he didn't get that double-double last night. Kent, 13 points, 9 rebounds.
He'll take care of the first half tonight.
I guess so. Here's Aquel Cott. His first free throw hits the front rim. You've seen the Skyhawks all-conference player, all-region player, start to try to be more aggressive, but he misses 2 free throws. They're 2 rare misses for Aquel Cott. So a chance to cut it to 8 instead. It stays at a 10-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. Inside, Scott turns, takes some contact, misses the shot. Boatwright was strong, but the ball goes right back into the hands of Black Hills State.
Nice pass from Scott, and they couldn't convert.
Wow, Cicerik went up and under. He couldn't score. And give a lot of credit to Brendan Boatwright for standing his ground in the paint there defensively. Not once, but twice. Scotty Stafford steps away from the screen, misses the shot. Good hustle by Boatwright, but the ball falls into the hands of Jayton Hackley. Left open, Hackley. The 3 is money. And that entire trip they were playing 5-on-4 because Boatwright had tried to save the ball, had dove in out of bounds. And now Fort Lewis College trailing by 13. Into the paint, Q Mays hangs, gets it to go. Tough 2 inside the paint for Q Mays.
Down at the other end, Black Hills State has already hit 7 3-pointers.
Two minutes, 15 seconds left before halftime. Hackley flips it back up top to Cicerik. And Cicerik hits the 2. Good feed from Ragsdale. The 2-man game works on the left side there for the Yellow Jackets. Cicerik has 6 points. Left-handed 3, money from Q Mays. Splashing it in from the right wing. 38-28, under 2 minutes to play. Cicerik brings the ball down, secures it, gets it back outside. Hackley's 3 in and out. And Aquel Cott pushes ahead for the Skyhawks. Hanging and putting it in off the backboard. Difficult shot, and Aquel Cott now has 6 points. Lead trimmed to 8. There's Joel Scott going to work against Boatwright. The double team comes. Scott can't get his layup to go. Good defense, good help by Q Mays. Boatwright is slow to get down the floor. They're trying to get the subs in, but there hasn't been a whistle. A drive and a left-handed layup attempt by Q Mays. The foul is going to go against Black Hills State, Kalen Hearn. And, you know, look at Boatwright. He is exhausted right now, but what effort he has shown in this first half.
He's had a good game to this point, but the last 5 minutes kind of been up and down the court, and that's hard on a big.
Q Mays will have 2 free throws. Sinks the first one. Smooth release from the lefty.
Boatwright with 7 points, 4 rebounds.
He'll check out along with Junior Garbra on the floor. Back for Fort Lewis College will be Sekou Dembele along with Scotty Stafford. Both free throws good. It's a 6-point lead. A 6-0 run. Make it a 7-0 run for Fort Lewis College. 40 seconds left in the half. The winner advances to the Sweet 16. Joel Scott with some power and then hits the deck hard. Fouled by Dembele.
It's going to be Sekou Dembele's second foul. Fort Lewis 7th as a team.
Trying to go with that left hand.
Dembele is solid. Joel Scott is solid.
Yeah. Who wants to guard those big men? And the free throw good for Joel Scott. In the RMAC tournament semifinals, Joel Scott 29 points, 11 rebounds against the Skyhawks. Sinks both free throws. Lead bumps back up to 8, 33 seconds left before halftime.
This half has flown by.
Yeah, a lot of good action. 2 really good teams trying to advance on to Tuesday night's regional championship. Slowing it down, Q Mays. Starts to pass and it's stolen away. Going the other direction, but the layup missed by Hackley. 6 seconds left. Obi Agbim, his 3 in and out.
Oh.
And
that could have been a mistake right there.
Back and forth, each team gets a chance at a basket. No points are scored. And so we will head to the locker room. An intense battle for the first 20 minutes. Black Hills State leads 40-32 over Fort Lewis College in a 6-versus-2 matchup here in the semifinals. We'll take a timeout, come back, have your halftime stats for you. Preview our second game of the day, which is Angelo State and West Texas A&M. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the men's South Central Regional Tournament here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network and NCAA.com.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
The NCAA expresses our gratitude to our corporate champions and partners. Without their support, These great championship moments and opportunities are not possible for our student athletes. The NCAA's commitment to the highest levels of fairness and well-being, along with the pursuit of excellence in both academics and athletics, helps build a championship culture. With their generosity, our corporate partners make it possible to celebrate champions. Thank you.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
These are the moments that live on, that we'll talk about for years to come. We come here to see history made, sharing in the wins and the upsets.
Together. Because whether we're players or fans, we're all on the same team. And to us,
this is more than just a game. It's an important moment in our lives. One that's worth protecting.
So if you see something, say something. Report suspicious activity to your local authorities.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
The NCAA expresses our gratitude to our corporate champions and partners. Without their support, these great championship moments and opportunities are not possible for our student athletes. The NCAA's commitment to the highest levels of fairness and well-being, along with the pursuit of excellence in both academics and athletics, helps build a championship culture. With their generosity, our corporate partners make it possible to celebrate champions. Thank you.
Welcome back to the First United Bank Center here in Canyon, Texas. Our halftime score in the first semifinal matchup. Black Hills State has an 8-point advantage. Lucas Kinsey alongside Kent Johnson. And Kent, let's start off with just our thoughts here from this first half. Fort Lewis College yesterday, the offensive attack, they're making shots, they're driving, they're really doing whatever they wanted against Lubbock Christian. Today, it's been different. Black Hills State, obviously they know Fort Lewis College very well, but defensively, they've been everywhere.
Yeah, Black Hills defense has been incredible. You look outside, and Sindhu Cisse has done an incredible job shutting down Aquel Cott. Cott has got 4 points, of which they came on his last 2 field goal attempts. He's only taken a handful of shots, but their interior defense, getting hands on balls, forcing turnovers, forcing loose balls, blocking shots, it's just been frenetic.
Yeah. The halftime stats tell the story there. Big difference, the three-point basket. Black Hills State has had the hot hand, 7 of 14 from the perimeter. Both teams very good at the free throw line. The rebounds very even at 17 for Fort Lewis College, 15 for Black Hills State. Those turnovers, these two teams were very clean yesterday in their first-round victories. Today, the defensive intensity on both sides, forcing more turnovers. But Kent, we took a look at the box score from the last time that these two teams played in the RMAC tournament semifinals, and Black Hills State had a 49-42 lead at halftime over the Skyhawks. The second half, it was the Skyhawks that took things over.
Held Black Hills State to just 29 points in the second half. So the Skyhawks, not completely unfamiliar to playing from behind against Black Hills State. As we said, they've beaten them 3 times this year. they're going to have some work to do if they're going to do it a fourth time this year.
We'll take another timeout, come back, have the individual stats, and also have a preview of our next semifinal matchup, which is West Texas A&M and Angelo State. You're watching the men's NCAA South Central Region semifinal game here from the First United Bank Center in Canyon, Texas. We're back after this timeout.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
The NCAA expresses our gratitude to our corporate champions and partners. Without their support, these great championship moments and opportunities are not possible for our student athletes. The NCAA's commitment to the highest levels of fairness and well-being, along with the pursuit of excellence in both academics and athletics, helps build a championship culture. With their generosity, our corporate partners make it possible to celebrate champions. Thank you.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Our halftime score here at the First United Bank Center, Black Hills State leads by 8 points, 40-32 over Fort Lewis College. Individually, starting with Black Hills State, Joel Scott leads the way, 10 points, 10 rebounds, 1 assist, and a couple of steals in playing 18 minutes, 37 seconds there in the first half. PJ Hayes, the hot hand from outside, made a couple of three-point baskets, 8 points for PJ Hayes to go with the rebound. Sindhu Cisse really doing a defensive job in this first half, a lot of times being matched up against Aquel Cott, but Cisse has scored 3 points, has a steal in 13 minutes of action. Matthew Ragsdale, a good start for him, 8 points, including 2 for 2 from the three-point line. Jayton Hackley, 5 points, 2 steals, 2 rebounds. And Riker Sisser is 3 for 4 from the field, scoring 6 points in the first half of play, also has an assist. On the other side for Fort Lewis College, good balance. Nobody's in double-figure scoring, but they're being led by Brendan Boatwright inside, the 6'9" postman, 7 points, 4 rebounds in 12 minutes of action. Q Mays with 7 points and 1 steal. Aquel Cott, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 4 from the free throw line, 6 points, 2 rebounds for the all-region player. Junior Garbra has scored 2 points, and Sekou Dembele, 4 points, 1 rebound, and a shot block as well for the Skyhawks. Again, the halftime score 40-32, Black Hills State with the 8-point lead. Our second game today will feature West Texas A&M against Angelo State. Kent Johnson, the Buffaloes and the Rams, both winners last night in their opening round games. WT knocking off Texas A&M Kingsville 78-56, and then Angelo State defeats Colorado Mesa 72-57. Rams took a second half comeback, if you will, from Colorado Mesa. The Mavericks cut it to 6 points at about the 12-minute mark there in the second half, but they always had an answer, and Vinay Patel's team has advanced on to the second round for the first time for that Ram program since 2016.
This is another game where the teams have played each other multiple times. The Rams won in San Angelo back in early January. The Buffs won here in Canyon in February. And then the nail-biting LSC tournament title game last Sunday. The Buffs defeat the Angelo State Rams 64-63. Zach Toussaint with a jumper from the elbow with 2.7 seconds left culminated a comeback for the Buffaloes. Angelo State yesterday, their win was really a strong defensive effort, and that's what Vinay Patel's teams do. They get after you defensively. They are playing without their leading scorer, KK Godwin, averages nearly 17 points a game. You take that off your roster, I shouldn't say off the roster, out of your lineup. He had a leg injury that he suffered last weekend, and now you're going into the South Central Region tournament without your leading scorer. But they did a great job. They did it defensively. West Texas A&M does what West Texas A&M does. They spread the love offensively. They shoot the ball well. When the shots fall, they're hard to beat. And that's what happened yesterday as they defeated Texas A&M Kingsville 78-56. Every game between the teams has been reasonably close. The Buffs won by 14 here in Canyon. They lost by 7 in San Angelo, and the Buffs won by 1 last week in Frisco. It's going to be a fun game, just as the second half of this game is going to be fun.
Our score here at halftime, Black Hills State leads Fort Lewis College 40-32. We'll take our final timeout, come back, and start the second half of action. Don't go anywhere. The Skyhawks and the Yellow Jackets battling for a chance to move on to the Sweet 16.
These are the moments that live on, that we'll talk about for years to come. We come here to see history made, sharing in the wins and the upsets.
Together. Because whether we're players or fans, we're all on the same team.
And to us, this is more than just a game. It's an important moment in our lives. One that's worth protecting.
So if you see something, say something. Report suspicious activity to your local authorities.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them, it's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
The NCAA expresses our gratitude to our corporate champions and partners. Without their support, these great championship moments and opportunities are not possible for our student athletes. The NCAA's commitment to the highest levels of fairness and well-being, along with the pursuit of excellence in both academics and athletics, helps build a championship culture. With their generosity, our corporate partners make it possible to celebrate champions. Thank you.
We get ready for second half action. Black Hills State, last season they made it all the way to the Final Four under the direction of head coach Ryan Thompson, and so far in the first half, you know, some of that experience, you talk about that, Kenton, and the Fort Lewis College, Black Hills State, they know each other really well, get in these big moments, and does that play a factor when you have a team like Black Hills State, who last year advanced as far as they did?
You know, that experience helps when you get here, but the reality is these are both two outstanding teams. Yeah, they've played each other numerous times. You get to this point, which players are going to make plays? That's what it boils down to.
And if you're Fort Lewis College, I think they have got to be creative in this second half. You said it a lot, Kent, through the first 20 minutes. How can you get the ball in the hands of number 22?
That's going to be key.
Yellow Jackets start with the basketball as Fort Lewis College picks up in man-to-man defense. Ragsdale fading, takes the three, misses it, but there for the cleanup. Cleanup on aisle 2. Thank you very much, says Sindhu Cisse.
followed the arc of that ball, chased it down, put it right back up.
Boatwright absorbs some contact, scores, picks up right where he left off from that first half. Give the assist to Q Mays. Two teams trade buckets to open the second half. Cisse will try one from outside. Can't connect, and a good rebound flying in to grab that one was Brendan LaRose. Q Mays hangs and draws contact. Shielding the defender off, putting it up with his left hand. The foul will be called.
It's going to go on Kalen Hearn, and that's going to be his third.
We'll see if we'll get a sub off the bench for Ryan Thompson, or if he'll let him play with the 3 fouls. First free throw from Q Mays is good. And we will have that sub checking in for Black Hills State. It'll be Jayton Hackley. Q Mays, another good performance today. This is the second free throw, but he does have 8 points, which right now is second on the team, right behind Brendan Boatwright, who's got 9. In the half court, they go inside to Scott. Scott gathers, draws a foul. You know, early on here, both sides look like the calls, they're trying to clean it up maybe, not as physical inside the paint.
And both teams taking it inside on
Yes.
their early possessions.
This free throw from Joel Scott. Black Hills State out of Spearfish, South Dakota. An enrollment of just a little over 3,400. And, you know, I was excited, Kent. I was looking for these mascots for Black Hills State. The official mascot, Sting. And for Fort Lewis College, it's Skylar the Skyhawk. There's a Quell-Cott skying in the air and losing a shoot. Defense by Black Hills State. That's how you know you're playing good defense, when you take the opponent's shoe off, I guess.
Take him out of his shoe.
43-35, an inbound for Black Hills State. Oh, wow. A layup on the back end, good for P.J. Hayes. Coaches absolutely loathe when you give up an inbound bucket. That's exactly what happened there.
Back up to a 10-point advantage.
Open look from outside. The 3 rattles out on the try from Boatwright, but there's LaRose with a good rebound. Extra possession here for Fort Lewis College. Stafford will try a 3, and it's too strong. Nothing there for Cisse, so they move it outside. Shot clock under 10. Double team on Joel Scott. 5 seconds to shoot it. Scott, difficult turnaround shot, misses it. And that's a solid defensive trip there for the Skyhawks. Boatwright.
How about that for a defensive play?
Give me that ball, says Ragsdale. On the other side. Scott will take the feed and score on the left side. Pretty pass from his teammate Jayton Hackley.
12-point Black Hill State lead, and Aquil Scott in the second half has had 1 touch.
Ooh, nice behind the back there, but the ball stripped free, and again, turnovers hurting.
11th turnover.
Yep, hurting the Fort Lewis College Skyhawks, and that's going to be an and 1 opportunity for Jayton Hackley. He goes strong to the 10, draw the contact. Yes, sir. right at Aquel Cott. Just a little bit of contact. And it's back up to a 14-point lead for the Yellow Jackets. A timeout on the floor. 16:26 to play in the second half. Black Hills State leads 49-35.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Well, there's some Black Hills State fans happy with the performance of their team overall, especially here in the second half, as the Yellow Jackets have scored 9 of the first 12 points to start the second half. They have forced 11 Fort Lewis turnovers. They're up 14, the largest lead of the game to this point.
Trying to make it 15 is Jayton Hackley, who has 7 points, 3 rebounds. Good defensive performance today for Hackley. Splashes the free throw in. And it is an 8-0 run over the last 2 minutes and change here for Black Hills State. Boatwright gathers, draws contact, and scores. Foul's going to go against Joel Scott. I tell you what, 33 came to play today. Boatwright has been very impressive. You know, not just strong, but smart. Watch how he gathers, going to wait, take that contact.
Hesitation, got Joel Scott in the air, then went up strong to the basket.
The free throw to complete the three-point play is good for Boatwright. And that was a big answer there. Trims the lead back to 12. We'll see a little bit of full court pressure here from Fort Lewis College. Good pass in the middle against that pressure. Cisse past the defense, left-hand layup, won't go. Agbim lost the ball and was fouled in the process. And it was Jayton Hackley that committed the foul, which will take us to the media timeout. 15:51 left to play in the second half. Black Hills State still in control, but a lot of time. 50-38 to score. We're back with more NCAA tournament action after these messages.
Explore the possibilities with more than 125 degrees to choose from and learn from top-ranked academic programs. Black Hills State University is one of the 5% business schools worldwide that is accredited by the AACSB. BH is home to a leading photography program that is in the top 5% nationwide. Experience culture with a study abroad program or meet one of the many international students representing 29 different countries. Black Hills State is affordable and provides the skills and knowledge for students to find a successful career. Be part of Yellow Jacket Nation today and apply.
Welcome back to the First United Bank Center. Our score 50-38. Black Hills State leading over Fort Lewis College. The Yellow Jackets trying to do something they have not done yet this season, and that is defeat Fort Lewis College. It's been 3 wins this season going to the Skyhawks. This one matters the most here today, and a nice drive.
Yes, sir.
Wow, Hugh Mays was really impressive yesterday in that 97-65 win over Lubbock Christian. He is doing the same thing today. 10 points for Mays. Yellow Jackets on the attack. Matthew Ragsdale, get out of the way. I'm coming to score.
Ragsdale in double figures now with 10.
3 players already in double figures for Black Hills State. Ragsdale, P.J. Hayes, and Joel Scott.
Scott also has 11 rebounds.
Oh, difficult shot with a defender in his face, and it nearly went down for Q Mays. Ragsdale to Scott. Draws the foul. And it went against Q Mays.
That's Mays' third.
See, these guys did this back in high school, Kent. So they have that connection. Pretty cool for those.
They've got that telepathy working.
Exactly.
Oh, both of these teams, they're fun to watch.
Absolutely. Free throw short for Joel Scott.
Be a little more fun if Scott would hit his free throws. If you're a Black Hills fan.
Yeah, 3 of 5 at the line. Joel Scott as a team now 9 for 11. On the other side, Fort Lewis College, 9 out of 13. And the second one rattles in for Joel Scott, 53-40 lead for Black Hills State. Fort Lewis College from the three-point line, KJ, 1 of 6 today. A drive, a bucket, a big one for Obi Agbim. I said, who needs the new age 3 when you can take it to the rack and do it the old way?
P.J. Hayes tried to defend, comes in, reaches in, gets called for the reach in there. That's his first.
Agbim connects at the line. He's got 5 points now. And it's back to that 10-point deficit. The difference for Fort Lewis College here in the second half is going to be, can they find ways to get stops defensively? Hackley off the ball screen. Nothing but nylon.
Early poll says no.
Well, you get a ball screen from Joel Scott, it should free you open.
Good one. You're right.
A foul on the other side goes against the Yellow Jackets. And it was Matthew Ragsdale. I was waiting to see if they said 24 or 23.
Ragsdale's second, team's 5th. And again, Aquel Cott has taken just 5 field goal attempts.
Now they get it to him. Just a step inside the free throw line. Aquel Cott right on cue there.
Now 6. But they need to get him involved in the offense.
Yeah, sometimes, I mean, in the game of basketball, you say you want to take what the defense gives you, let the game come to you. But there are some times when you have a player like Aquel Cott where you have to force the issue.
And it's time for Fort Lewis to do that.
And a travel on the other side goes against Black Hills State. So the Skyhawks get a stop. Can they get this lead under 10 points? The furthest that Fort Lewis College has ever advanced in the NCAA tournament back in 2011. It was the Sweet 16. They advanced there and then lost to Minnesota State. Right now trying to get back to the Sweet 16 against our MAC opponent, Black Hills State. A drive, a bucket, count it, and the foul. Junior Garbrough. And out of that play, P.J. Hayes is a little shaken up. Watch this drive by Garbrough. The officials are telling both teams to go to their benches.
Yeah, Garbrough took an elbow or his hand to the nose. He's got a bloody nose now, so they're going to, the officials will take a review and see if.
P.J. Hayes is the one who has blood on his nose, and the training staff will run back and get something. There's a look at P.J. Hayes. Stops the clock with 13 minutes, 23 seconds to play here in the second half. Fort Lewis College, 3 of their last 3. Here's the last replay, KJ.
Yeah, I don't see where the
it's the off. Came. Let's run it back one more time if we can, Jacob. It's the offhand, not intentional at all, and I don't even know if you can call this an offensive foul, because initially that's the opposite view there. That looks like a defensive foul, without a doubt, and Garbrough with the take. If we have that other view, what we may look at it from the baseline camera, and you'll see the off hand of Garbrough. That's where the contact is made to the face.
Right, yeah, as he elevates to go up, he uses the left arm to help spring himself up, and it got up into the face of P.J. Hayes.
I would be surprised, though, if it's overturned.
I don't see how you call that a flagrant or anything like that.
Right now it stands as an 8-point lead for Black Hills State, 55-47. Yeah. And so it's going to be a free throw for Junior Garbrough. Explanation being given to head coach Ryan Thompson over on the Yellow Jackets bench.
Got a slight delay while we clean up the droplets of blood that are on the floor.
Now, who said no blood, no foul, right? There actually was a foul. And blood.
It was a foul, and it was on the guy that got his nose hit. Life's not fair sometimes.
All right, Garbrough at the line. He's been good today. Hits the back rim, and it stays at an 8-point lead. Joel Scott grabs the rebound. Joel Scott tells Jayton Hackley, I'll just bring it up. And now back to Hackley, and they set up the offense with 13 minutes, 10 seconds left in this ball game. Cicerak back in for Black Hills State. Hesitates and scores. Great patience on the baseline by Riker Cicerak. And he has not taken many shots, but when he has, he's been nearly perfect.
Yeah, 4 or 5.
Aquel Cott will drive, miss the shot, the rebound controlled by Cicerak. And again, Cott, every time he drives, there are 2, sometimes 3 Black Hills State defenders converging on him. Good ball movement around the perimeter here from Black Hills State. Hackley drives, kicks to Joel Scott. His 3 won't go. Cicerak climbs the ladder for rebound. He can't get it. Another rebound and a miss. And 2 good looks inside for the Yellow Jackets. They come up empty. Hugh Mays, man, he is smooth with the dribble, but he lost it there. Got into traffic, taken away. Hoku Fisher pushes ahead, and some sloppy play the last 2 possessions for these teams, and maybe some exhaustion coming into play.
Well, they're going at it hard. That last play, the turnover, the bounce pass in the paint, trying to be fancy on your fast break. Get it up there where his hands are, where he can catch the ball and lay it in.
All right, the name of the game, survive and advance. Who's going to move on? Black Hills State, Fort Lewis College, under 12 minutes to play in this one. We're back after the timeout on NCAA.com.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There is an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
Welcome back to the First United Bank Center. 11:56 to play in our first semifinal game. Black Hills State up 10, 57-47.
And I think some of the Fort Lewis College fans are checking their phone. They're checking the stats to say, how many shots has Aquill Cott taken today?
And the answer is he's taken 7. 4 of them in the first half. Black Hills State has done an excellent job of making him a non-factor in the offense thus far.
Here's a drive by Agbim. He gets turned around. Thought there was some contact there. Did not get the call. And Black Hills State, again, another good defensive stop. They push ahead. Cisse cut off. Can't get anywhere, so they go back to Ciceric. He's been good today. Hearn, nothing there. Back to Hoku Fisher. He'll fire up a 3 off the mark.
He had the look.
You know, the Skyhawks are doing a better job defensively, but their last 3 trips, they've come up empty on the offensive side. Inside, big man bucket underneath by Dumbele. That was one of those buckets where you say, no kids allowed. This is the adults only section. Shot clock already down under 15 seconds on this possession. Cisse will go to work and score the 2.
Wow.
That's a tough look there. And Sindhu Cisse, the grad senior from Harlem, New York, with the bucket. Right now, Black Hills State giving Joel Scott a breather. There's Cott starting his drive, and the ball was tipped away from him. Shot clock down to 12 seconds. Q Mays will attack, float, hang, score, and draw the foul. You know, he starts his dribble, and you're just waiting for something explosive to happen.
Kalen Hearn just drew his 4th personal foul. Team foul number 6 against the Yellow Jackets.
Lead cut to 8. They can get it back to 7 if Q Mays can make this free throw. He's got 12 points. He and Brendan Boatwright leading the way for the Skyhawks today. And the free throw is short.
In the first 10 minutes of the half, Fort Lewis College has just made up 1 point of their 8-point halftime deficit.
Joel Scott back on the floor along with Ragsdale, and they're going to call an illegal screen on the big man. Joel Scott moved and got caught with his 3rd personal foul. So it's the 8th team foul, but they won't be shooting free throws as it's the offensive foul call there.
Player control foul.
So it goes back to Fort Lewis College. Again, I'm going to go back to this stat. 1 for 6 from the 3-point line. Skyhawks have not even really put up too many threes. They could use one right now, though. And Q Mays, he tried it. Contested look from the top would not go down.
Yesterday, Fort Lewis knocked down 12. They took 24.
Ragsdale will take a 3, and it's off the mark. Look at Ciceric flying in. Can't connect underneath. And the Skyhawks have numbers. They're going to push. But getting back in transition, Black Hills State doesn't allow anything in the paint. Q Mays starts to drive instead. Goes over to Agbim. Q Mays up in the air, had it blocked. What a deflection there by Joel Scott. And Kent, he's doing that knowing he's got 3 fouls.
And when you watch the Fort Lewis offense, though, they're not even looking for Cott. They're doing the drive. A lot of times you drive the lane and dish out. Cott's not open. They're not even worrying about him.
A foul is called underneath, and it's going to go against Boatwright. And immediately the official whistles and says, everybody go to your benches. That was a collision in the paint. Let's watch this again, Kent. The two big men get hooked up underneath. Oh. Joel Scott goes down hard, but again, it's one of those ones where they both kind of get their arms hooked as the shot was being taken. And to me, these are hard for the officials to call because both guys are wrestling.
Yeah.
Obviously, Joel Scott is the one that at the end kind of looks like he gets slammed down to the ground. But
question is, does Boatwright initiate it? It almost looks like Scott's the one that hooks, and then his force sends himself down. Boatwright's the innocent bystander here.
Well, and the other group of people in the arena right now that agree with us are the Fort Lewis College fans. As they looked up on the big board here, 59-51. Clock stopped with 8 minutes, 44 seconds left to play in this game. Black Hills State, the 8-point advantage.
Of course, the original call was a foul on Boatwright, so it's going to have to be something obvious that makes them reverse it.
One of these after further review, right?
Absolutely. Again, Ryan Snyder, our referee. There's Jerome Yancey over with him. Brian Huber is our third official. They've given a look, and now we'll get a decision here.
Good job on the replay from our Thunder Vision production team. We appreciate all of their hard work yesterday with the 4 games, today 2 games, and then Tuesday will be the championship. A lot of time here left in this one to decide who's moving on to the Sweet 16. It's a big call right here. Somebody's not going to be happy from this outcome, I can tell you that. Head coach Bob Petrak being given an explanation. Looks like the ball's going to stay down on the Black Hills State side, though.
The call was confirmed.
Okay.
So, much as he looked innocent, Brendan Boatwright picks up his second personal. 5th team foul.
Cisse to inbound for the Yellow Jackets. Just barely gets it in to Joel Scott. Scott wants it. Instead, it's a 3-pointer miss, but there's Joel Scott. Says, I got you, PJ Hayes. That's what you call leftovers right there, Kent. Go back for seconds.
I mean, you wonder, was that a shot or was that a pass? I mean, it was perfect.
Between the legs, a tough 2. Up top, missed by Agbem. Look at Boatwright. Secure that rebound and go strong. Hit the 2. Lunch pail player, Brendan Boatwright. He's got 14 points. (61-53). And the ball stripped away, and that was Boatwright that did it. And a foul is called against Black Hills State. You know, you get into these games and you see players that just put it all out on the floor. That's what we're seeing from number 33 today, Brendan Boatwright.
Foul called on Jayton Hackley, his third. That'll take us to a timeout. 7:42 to play in the second. Black Hills State still ahead, but it's closer. 8-point deficit. We'll be back after this. You're watching South Central Region Men's Basketball Tournament on NCAA.com.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
We have 7 minutes, 42 seconds to play here in the second round matchup between Fort Lewis College and Black Hills State. At the line, Junior Garbrough. He was fouled from behind after the Skyhawks got the steal, 1-1, and the free throw is good for Garbrough. We're looking at a lot of these really good game notes and statistics being provided to us from both of these schools, Black Hills State and Fort Lewis College. And on the Black Hills State side, as the second free throw drops for Garbrough, he made them both. The defense for Black Hills State so solid, and throughout the year, when their opponents do score 80 or more points, they're just 1-4. However, when the opponents score 60 points, they're 18-5. Right now it's 61-55 the score, but a lot of times 7:20 to play. Cisse in the corner will go to Scott. And the battle ensues. Pass outside, the three rattles around and out. Good look for Jayton Hackley.
That's Boatwright's 9th rebound, one more, and he'll have a double-double.
I think that's a smart double team, though, if you're Fort Lewis College. Don't let Scott take it to the rim. Here's Aquel Cott, takes a two-pointer from the right elbow, and it won't fall. It's a good look for Cott, though. Black Hills State slows things down. They'll run a set here with 15 seconds on the shot clock. Ragsdale, patient, and he puts up a floater over Boatwright. We've seen more aggressiveness today from Matthew Ragsdale.
Black Hills State now with 4 players double-figure scoring.
Three-pointer will not go down on the other end for Obi Agbim. Lead is back up to 8 for Black Hills State. A team that went all the way to the Final Four last year. Won the South Central Region tournament over at the Rip Griffin Center in Lubbock. Here's a three, bombs away. It's good for Sindhu Cisse.
Bumps Black Hills up to a double-digit lead.
Q Mays tries to answer. His shot falls short. As these legs are getting tired, Kent, we're starting to see some of the shots for Fort Lewis College look on the money and just fall short.
Falling short, that's it.
Cisse fakes the shot.
This
goes
one's
to
not going to fall short.
Nope, Joel Scott just waits, gets Boatwright up in the air and scores the layup, and it is now a 68-55 lead.
And we're approaching the 5-minute mark.
Aquel Cott with Cisse draped all over him. And a foul is going to be called against Cisse, stopping the clock with 5 minutes, 11 seconds to play.
It's going to be Cisse's third. Team foul number 10 against Black Hills. So that'll send Aquel Cott to the line, shooting 1-1.
He'll be trying to stop this 7-0 run that Black Hills State is currently on. And Cott connects at the free throw line. A couple of subs in for Fort Lewis College. Dumbele comes on the floor along with Scotty Stafford. Can't make the second one. You need every free throw here. If you're Fort Lewis College, trailing by 12 points, hitting the 5-minute mark. Some pressure in the backcourt does not affect Black Hills State. They get it across easily. Scott goes to work against Dumbele. Count the bucket and the foul. Joel Scott, how about 20 points, Kent, to go with his 18 rebounds?
Wow. He can easily be a 2020 player today. We came here thinking Aquel Cott was going to be the offensive fireworks. Joel Scott, in his workmanlike way, has shown, don't forget about me.
Yep, the tough veteran. And there's a reason why he was chosen as not only the RMAC Player of the Year, but the Region Player of the Year this season. Fort Lewis College now needing some offense and needing it quickly. Aquel Cott fires up a three, and it's good.
There, Mr. Offense. He was trying to draw a foul on that, too.
It shows you what a good shooter he is to keep the focus as the defensive player came ever so close to fouling him, and he still made the perimeter shot. 71-59. Yellow Jackets take the shot clock down to 10 seconds. Ragsdale, deep three-pointer. No, front rim, but there's another offensive rebound. Left-handed layup. You betcha. Mr. Jayton Hackley drawing the foul and going to the line.
And that will negate the three that Fort Lewis just hit.
Listen to this crowd from Black Hills State. The Yellow Jackets leading 73-59, 3:56 to play, and it's these hustle plays from Black Hills State. They've been there all day long. We'll take a timeout, come back. You're watching the NCAA South Central Regional Tournament here from the First United Bank Center in Canyon.
The NCAA sponsors 90 national championships each year, none of which could happen without officials. There's an urgent need for sports officials across the country, as they are retiring 4 times faster than they are coming in, leaving shortages at all levels of sport. The NCAA recognizes the importance of officiating on the student-athlete experience and is dedicated to the recruitment and retention of new officials for all sports. There are many great reasons to become an official. Stay in shape and get paid to do so. Meet new people and build relationships within a tight-knit community. Give back to the sport you love by creating a fair atmosphere and upholding the integrity of the game. Say yes to officiating. Visit ncaa.org/say yes to officiating for more information on how to get started.
.356 to play. Semifinals. Black Hills State leading Fort Lewis College 73-59. Talking offense or lack thereof, Fort Lewis College season low this year, 64 points at Colorado School of Mines. Twice they've been held to 68.
And a free throw miss, but it doesn't matter because Sindhu Cisse snags another offensive rebound for the Yellow Jackets. That's the 10th offensive rebound today. They lead the total rebound count now, Kent, 37-26. Good deflection in the paint. The steal, it was knocked away by Dembele, and now they've got numbers, but we got a foul up top, and Q Mays took exception to Jayton Hackley slapping at his arm. Official did make the call, and Q Mays will head to the free throw line.
Hackley just picks up his 4th.
It was the 10th foul against Black Hills State, so Mays will have 2 free throws. Now the free throws today, 13 for 20 at the line, are the Skyhawks. And that was a big difference last night, Kent, in the Angelo State-Colorado Mesa game.
Mesa just 3 of 12 from the line. You mentioned the rebound differential. Black Hills State was out rebounding the Skyhawks by 2 at the half. That number's up to 11 now.
Second free throw is good for Q Mays, who has 13 points on the day for the Skyhawks. Pressure in the backcourt, not affecting Black Hills State. Sitting on a 13-point lead right now. Hackley taking his time up top. Now they'll go to Joel Scott at the elbow. The double team comes, spinning away, back to Ragsdale. A 3 in the corner, no. And the Skyhawks get the rebound. Big defensive stop. Q Mays pushes ahead of the pack and scores. It's not over yet, folks. 73-62, lead trimmed to 11.
Get the ball across the timeline and then foul. That's what they did.
Yep, Joel Scott bumped over there into the scores table.
I believe that'll be Scotty Stafford's first personal. 7th team foul against Fort Lewis College.
1-on-1 opportunity here for Joel Scott, who has 21 points, 18 rebounds, and is 5 of 7 at the free throw line. His first one, strong, missed it. Leaving the door open here for Fort Lewis College. Aquel Cott attacks, loses the ball, stolen away. Cisse comes out of the pack, and they draw a foul. That was a missed opportunity there for Fort Lewis College. They needed to score a point, score a bucket there, and they didn't get the chance.
Q Mays with a foul, his 4th.
We've talked about this throughout the broadcast, Kent, but the defensive execution for Black Hills State, all 5 players playing together, moving their feet, cutting off driving lanes, closing out on shooters. But right now, the Yellow Jackets struggling at the free throw line, so it stays at a 73-62 game, and driving into the paint, losing the ball was Q Mays. 2 minutes, 20 seconds still to play.
But again, on that play, Jayden Hackley gets his hand on the ball, prevents the shot. Black Hills gets hands on a lot of basketballs.
Cott drives, and it's going to be a charge. He went right at Joel Scott, and they're going to call the offensive foul against Aquel Cott, who is still down on the floor, slow to get up.
He landed right on his tailbone.
If we have that replay, we'll pull it up again. If you're a Fort Lewis College fan, you're wanting this to be a block against Joel Scott. It was not. It was called a charge. And that's 2 straight possessions there where the score was at an 11-point deficit. Fort Lewis College unable to score. Oh, getting closer to 10 seconds, and that
there it
is going to be a turnover. A little too patient there.
Yeah, if you're Black
Ryan
Hills
Thompson.
State, you want to take more than 10 seconds off the clock before giving it back to Fort Lewis. I say that facetiously because you're not anticipating a 10-second call, but take 28 seconds, then put up your shot. Get it across the timeline.
Q Mays up top, step back 3, too strong. And Scott secures the rebound. They'll foul him quickly. Boatwright reaches in, and that will send Joel Scott back to the free throw line. You mentioned it, Kent, yesterday, 12 three-pointers made for head coach Bob Petrak's team, and today they have just not been there, 2 for 10, while Black Hills State is 8 of 25. Another free throw miss from Joel Scott. And of those 8 threes that Black Hills State has made today, 7 came in the first half.
Yeah, the second half has been relatively low scoring. Just 66 points between the 2 teams to this point.
Goodness, another free throw missed. So Fort Lewis College will dribble down. Aquel Cott will draw a foul. And this is a good situation here for Fort Lewis College. If they can start making their free throws, the clock is stopping. Aquel Cott has a chance to get this down to a 9-point deficit. And the Skyhawks do get the first free throw in from Aquel Cott. Do you keep fouling Joel Scott and sending him back to the line? He's 5 for 10.
Proven to be a worthwhile venture thus far.
Cott's second free throw rattles out.
Yeah.
And Bob Petrak rattles his head back around as he is thinking, if we could just make a few more of these free throws, they would be a lot closer. 15 of 24 today, Fort Lewis College is.
At the line, Sindhu Cisse.
You know, you get into March play, postseason, you're not always going to be able to depend on the perimeter shot. Coaches will tell you, as the first free throw from Cisse is good, 2 things that you do want to count on, your defense and free throws.
Foul was on Scotty Stafford. That was his second. Both teams over the 10-foul limit now, so it's not a matter of 1 and 1 where you miss the first and get the rebound.
Sindhu Cisse makes both free throws. He has 12 points 5 players in double figures. On the other side, what a drive and a score from Q Mays. That cuts the lead to 10, and a quick timeout taken by head coach Bob Petrak. It's a full timeout, so we'll step aside. Still 1 minute, 31 seconds left in this contest, and Black Hills State trying to cruise and move on to the Sweet 16. We're back after these messages on NCAA.com.
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
Hill State will come out of this huddle leading 75-65 over Fort Lewis College. And KJ, the last 2.5 minutes of this game, there's been a lot of free throws missed. I mean, there's been chances for Fort Lewis College.
Well, both teams have extended the game. Fort Lewis especially, they've done it intentionally with the free throws, and now the defense prevents Black Hills State from getting the ball inbounds.
Yeah, Joel Scott had to take a timeout. He was about to turn it over from a 5-second count. So Black Hills State will talk things over. We'll keep it here. It's just a 30-second break. 1 minute, 31 seconds left. And for Black Hills State, again, what a job that head coach Ryan Thompson has done. This is his 5th season, but you look at the last 2 years, if he wins today, that's 53 wins over 2 seasons. Last year he makes a run to the Final Four. Was a former assistant at the University of Jamestown. And Kent, as a player, he was a 4-year starter at Wisconsin River Falls. Really good coach, as is Bob Petrak on the other side. And
we've got 4 outstanding coaches. Of course, when you get to this point, the air's thin. Everybody's great.
Yeah. They do get it in this time to P.J. Hayes. Hayes will throw it ahead to Hackley, and they reach in and foul Jayton Hackley. Send the freshman to the free throw line with 1:26 to play. The Skyhawks are still going to need to knock down some three-point shots.
They need points, and they need them quick.
Free throw hits the front rim. Black Hills State fans hold their breath and watch it go in. We talked about the last 2.5 minutes. It's fun for you and I to call. It seems like an eternity if you're a Black Hills State fan hanging on to this lead. Aquel Cott. The transition 3 off the dribble won't go, but Boatwright hustles, and they save it back out to Q Mays. He'll take a 3. No. P.J. Hayes secures the rebound. And they'll foul Cisse. 1 minute, 5 seconds left. And that possession right there kind of showing you how things have gone for most of this game for Fort Lewis College. Good looks, great hustle, the shot's not falling.
And when Black Hills State got the defensive rebound, they made 2 quick passes and got it in the hands of Sindhu Cisse, who has been perfect from the line tonight. Can't say that about everybody.
Makes it again. Cisse 13 points, and his offensive production stands out today, but he has, again, most of the day been charged with trying to slow down Aquel Cott.
And what a job he's done. Be interesting post-game when you're visiting with Coach Thompson to talk about the job that Cisse did and whether that was an intentional matchup or whether that's just the way it worked out.
Steal, Joel Scott, watch out, and it's showtime on the other end. An exclamation point for the Yellow Jackets. Aquel Cott will force a foul on the other side. 80-65. I think Joel Scott, in his brain right there, Kent, he's thinking, do I pull this back out and run some clock? They may come over and foul me. I'm going back to the free throw line. Nope, I'm going to go in and slam this home. Just 50.9 seconds to play, and Aquel Cott lines up his first free throw and sinks it. Second free throw off the back rim. P.J. Hayes gathers it in. Just 48 seconds to play. And the Yellow Jackets get it across. And another foul will be charged against Fort Lewis College, Q Mays. And that was the 5th foul against Q Mays. He's going to foul out. Playing a great game today, though. 17 points, 3 rebounds. He's been really special the last 2 days.
And he's a senior, so this is the end of his collegiate career at Fort Lewis College.
Originally out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. He's a transfer coming over from Missouri Western. And again, nothing to hang your head about at all. Q Mays was very special this weekend.
Averaged 11.5 points this season.
Ragsdale makes the free throws. It's 81-66. And the 3 will not fall. Rebound, and now Fort Lewis College will fall back. Black Hills State fans up on their feet, as it has been a hard-earned game today. Joel Scott will dribble the ball out, show some love to the fans. And some good sportsmanship there as Brendan Boatwright comes over and congratulates Joel Scott. The Black Hills State Yellow Jackets, they'll have a turnover there as the shot clock was just a 1.4 seconds difference. And so Fort Lewis College will inbound it. There's a look at head coach Ryan Thompson, who is headed back to the Sweet 16. And Kent, they had failed 3 times this year in trying to take down Fort Lewis College. Today, the Yellow Jackets get it done.
And what a solid job they did. They didn't just get it done, but there was no ifs, ands, or buts, or doubts in this one. They led early. They did not let Fort Lewis College get a solid run to catch back up. And they showed why they're going back to the Sweet 16.
Well, Tuesday night, the plans for the fans of Spearfish, South Dakota, they're right here at the First United Bank Center in Canyon, Texas, reaching the regional championship. Congratulations to Black Hills State. Also, Kent, got to say to Fort Lewis College, a tremendous season. They win 29 games. They make it to the second round of the NCAA tournament. And for Fort Lewis College and head coach Bob Petrak, a tremendous run that will come to an end today. But his team is very talented and will bring back a lot of players next season. Look for them to be a contender next year as well.
Yeah, 29-4 will be the final season record for Fort Lewis. 27-5 for Black Hills, and they're still building. Looking forward to an exciting championship game between Black Hills and whoever wins our next semifinal between Angelo State, the 4 seed, and top-seeded West Texas A&M.
There's Joel Scott, finished the game with 23 points and 19 rebounds. The Yellow Jackets are moving on. We'll take a timeout, come back, have the post-game show for you here from the First United Bank Center. You're watching the NCAA tournament right here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network and NCAA.com.
These are the moments that live on, that we'll talk about for years to come. We come here to see history made, sharing in the wins and the upsets.
Together, because whether we're players or fans, we're all on the same team. And to us,
this is more than just a game. It's an important moment in our lives, one that's worth protecting.
So if you see something, say something. Report suspicious activity to your local authorities.
The road to national championships runs through NCAA.com. And whether you follow one college team or all of them. It's never been easier to get the content you want all in one place. With live broadcasts of multiple championships across all divisions, with exclusive access.
This is your ticket to the NCAA tournament.
And highlights for every single championship. Stay in the game all season long with NCAA.com, the home of college sports.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Holmes.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
The NCAA expresses our gratitude to our corporate champions and partners. Without their support, these great championship moments and opportunities are not possible for our student athletes. The NCAA's commitment to the highest levels of fairness and well-being, along with the pursuit of excellence in both academics and athletics, helps build a championship culture. With their generosity, our corporate partners make it possible to celebrate champions. Thank you.
Welcome back to the First United Bank Center here in Canyon, Texas. Final score of our first semifinal matchup, Black Hills State knocks out Fort Lewis College 81-66. The final as the Yellow Jackets move on to the Sweet 16, defeating a very talented Fort Lewis College team. We'll look at the final stats for you. 47% shooting for the Yellow Jackets, 44% from Fort Lewis College. Big difference, though. You look at those three-pointers. 8 three-pointers made for Black Hills State, and Fort Lewis College just could not get going from long distance, 2 of 13. Both teams about similar there at the free throw line. Rebound advantage, 10 rebounds advantage to Black Hills State. Turnovers played a factor throughout the game, 14 for Black Hills State, 15 for Fort Lewis College. Individually, as we look at the stats, first for Fort Lewis College, 3 players score in double figures. Q Mays leads the way with 17 points. Aquel Cott scores 14 points, grabs 4 rebounds. 14 points for Brendan Boatwright on 6 of 9 shooting. He also had 11 points, a double-double for Boatwright, who was solid today. They hold, I mentioned Aquel Cott scoring the 14 points. He made 4 of 10 from the field, 1 of 2 from the three-point line. 6 points each for Junior Garbra and number 21, Sekou Dumbele. Agbem scores 5 points for Fort Lewis College, and Scotty Stafford scores 4 points, grabs 3 rebounds. For Black Hills State, what a performance from Joel Scott. The Region Player of the Year put on a show today. 23 points on 8 of 17 shooting, made a couple of threes, 19 rebounds, 2 assists for Joel Scott. He got some help, though, in a big way. Sindhu Cisse, 14 points, 3 rebounds. P.J. Hayes, 10 points, 6 rebounds. Matthew Ragsdale, 13 points. He knocked down 2 three-pointers. 13 points from Jayton Hackley to go with 4 rebounds and an assist. Also, Riker Cicerik, the junior, comes off the bench and scores 8 points, grabs 6 rebounds. So a solid performance from Black Hills State. Again, tremendous season for Fort Lewis College. Head coach Bob Petrak and the Skyhawks finished their year 29-4. And for Black Hills State, they move on to the Sweet 16. Congratulations to head coach Ryan Thompson. A reminder, you can follow the post-game press conferences on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network and NCAA.com. That wraps up our first game. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Black Hills State, 81-66 winners over Fort Lewis College.